Right now I'm just in the like phase of like, what lane do I want to have?
Okay, what's the options?
I want to do something you haven't done.
Okay.
I want to be a DJ.
Okay, Brooklyn.
So I feel like DJing is cool because it's still music.
Law school is still off the table.
Maybe in a few years.
Did Riley really blow $14,000 in one night? Here's the full story. Hold on, did that really happen? Did Riley actually spend $14,000 using her mother's credit card in a single evening? Unfortunately, yes. That's exactly what went down, and her mom, Kandi Burruss, just found out. Let's just say she wasn't thrilled. In fact, she was completely shocked and definitely not pleased. But how did this even happen? Was it just a wild night that got out of control? Or is Riley's fast-paced New York City lifestyle beginning to spiral? Let's break down what led up to this moment and how everything unfolded. Riley has been living her best life in New York for a while now. If you've been watching Next Gen NYC, then you've seen her out at rooftop gatherings, fancy dinners, and shopping in high-end stores. It's the kind of life most people only dream about.
So let's talk about it, you guys. If you don't know, Bravo just announced that they're having a new reality show and I'm on it. And it comes out June 3rd, so stay on the lookout. Actually, the past couple weeks have been a bit surreal with all the press that's been going on around it. And I feel like so many people reaching out now.
Stylish clothes, velvet ropes, and private parties have become her norm. But in the latest episode, everything came crashing down. What started as another night out turned into a scene no one could have predicted. Riley and her Bravo castmates went to an upscale club for an evening of fun. There were champagne bottles, luxury service, and all the glittering things that come with the VIP lifestyle. But when the final bill came, the total hit a staggering $14,000. And here's the twist. Riley didn't use her own money to cover her share. On the July 1st episode, Riley revealed something unexpected. She used her mom's credit card to pay her part of the night's bill, which was around $7,000.
Sometimes,
as a Black woman, you're the minority, and it's okay. You have learned how to, make friends in all different circles from all walks of life, and that's one thing that I'm proud of you about, and you're not afraid to speak up for yourself, which you should not be. He's gonna have to learn to deal with Black women, and if this is his first lesson, then let that be it.
No big deal to her, apparently. She casually said, "I just wanted to make sure my part was covered." So she reached for the nearest card candies. There were multiple expensive items ordered that night. Bottles of Don Julio, 1,942, were flowing like water. Top-tier seating was reserved, and everything was done to impress. Riley wasn't the only one spending, of course. The rest of the group also contributed. But the issue was never about the group, it was the fact that Riley didn't ask her mom before using her card. That's where the real problem began. As soon as Kandi got wind of the charge, she went into full mom mode. Sitting across from Riley at a restaurant, she grabbed a napkin in frustration and tossed it on the table. Her face said it all, even though she wasn't yelling. Her expression was intense. "Girl, what are you doing?" she asked Riley, clearly upset. Her voice was calm, but carried all the disappointment of a mother who's been warning her child for months.
My mom is Kandi Burruss, and people might remember me from Real Housewives of Atlanta as a kid.
I'm a TV person and I'm 10 years old.
You saying you'd rather not talk to me and watch TV? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
No.
"This is ridiculous," Kandi said. "You have way too much going for you to be wasting money like that." Her frustration wasn't just about the money. Sure, $14,000 is a huge amount, but this was deeper. It was about values, responsibility, and understanding the importance of boundaries. If you've been watching Next Gen NYC, then you know this wasn't a random slip-up. It's part of a bigger issue. Kandi has been concerned for a while now that Riley might be taking her privileged lifestyle for granted. In earlier episodes, Kandi talked about how Riley seems to expect things to come easily. She said, "Riley doesn't always realize how hard it is to earn the kind of life she's enjoying." Kandi wants her daughter to grow up, to be independent, and to understand that money doesn't grow on trees even if you come from a famous family. The credit card fiasco just made all of those concerns hit harder. Let's not forget Kandi had already laid down the law before this happened. Earlier this season, she made it very clear Riley has 1 year to make a decision. Either she goes to law school or gets a serious job. After that, the financial support stops. No more swiping cards. No more living on mom's dime. Kandi wasn't being harsh. She was being honest. She doesn't want Riley to float through life based on fame and family connections alone. She wants her to stand on her own 2 feet. So, what's Riley doing now? That's the big question. Riley is kind of all over the place. 1 minute, she's saying she's serious about law school. The next, she's talking about starting a music career. Then suddenly, she's exploring influencer deals and partnerships with brands. She's been working with names like Makeup Forever and Dark and Lovely, so she's not broke far from it. But she also hasn't fully committed to any one path. That's what has her mom worried. Riley keeps dipping her toes into different opportunities, but hasn't settled on one. And that's where things get confusing. Is she discovering herself, or is she just avoiding responsibility? Now that this whole situation is out in the open, the internet is buzzing. People on Reddit and social media are dragging Riley for using her mom's card like an unlimited bank account. Many are calling her spoiled, disconnected, and entitled. Some say she's pretending to have Beyonce-level money, when really, she's still relying on YouTube checks and her mom's fame. They're not buying the excuse that this was just a young person making a mistake. To them, this was about carelessness, and some say Riley needs a serious wake-up call. To be fair, Riley isn't just letting people tear her down. On the show, when one of her co-stars accused her of being scary, she calmly replied, "I'm not scary. I'm just straightforward." It was a rare moment of maturity where she stood up for herself without raising her voice or making excuses. She's also been open about trying to figure out who she is beyond being Kandi Burruss' daughter. That's not easy. When you've grown up on reality TV and the world has watched you for years, it's hard to find your own path. Everything she does, from what she wears to what she says, gets picked apart. Trying to be independent. Let's give her some credit. She did move out and is now living in Brooklyn. That's no small feat. Rent in New York City isn't cheap, and surviving on your own in that city takes guts. Riley is trying to do things for herself, but the contradiction is hard to ignore. You can't talk about independence and then charge $7,000 on someone else's credit card for a party night. It's moments like this that make people question whether she's truly growing up or just pretending to. People forget that Riley isn't just any 22-year-old. She's been on screen since she was a kid. She's been followed by cameras, judged by the public, and compared to her mother, who is not only a reality star, but also a Grammy-winning artist and successful entrepreneur. When your parent has achieved so much, the expectations placed on you are sky high. By age 20, people expected Riley to have it all figured out. But most of us didn't have it together at 22 either. We made mistakes, changed our minds, and tried different things. The difference? We didn't do it on TV. Here's where things get interesting. If Riley wants to pursue a full-time influencer career, she definitely has the tools. She has followers, a public image, and brand recognition. If she starts posting consistently, forming partnerships with the right brands, and taking it seriously, she could earn a solid income and live comfortably. Then there's Beijing. That's another passion she's been exploring. It's creative, cool, and it could give her a career path outside the shadow of her mom's reality TV empire. If she really puts her energy into it, that might be her calling. And let's not forget law school. She's talked about it more than once. If she decides to go all in, that would be a complete lifestyle shift. Fewer late nights, more textbooks. It would show she's thinking long-term and is ready to build a life that isn't all glitz and glam. One thing is clear, Kandi isn't going to keep footing the bill. That one-year deadline is still ticking. If Riley doesn't have a clear plan by then, the credit line shuts off. No law school? No steady job? Then no more money. And now that this $14,000 situation has gone public, Kandi might be even more serious about enforcing that timeline. This moment could be the turning point Riley needs. It might push her to choose a path and stick with it. Or it could go the other way. If she continues to float between options and ignore the advice she's been given, there may be more consequences ahead. So, what do you think? Was Riley's decision to use her mom's card completely out of line? Or is she just going through the messy process of growing up and learning what it means to be an adult? It's a tough call. On one hand, many young people make money mistakes. On the other, not everyone has a famous mom who can bail them out, or thousands of people watching their every move. Let's not forget, Riley is still figuring it out. She's made some missteps, but she has also shown signs of maturity and strength. Whether she chooses law school, DJing, or becomes the next big influencer, one thing is clear: the next few months will be a big test of her character and her choices. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this a one-time mistake or a sign of deeper issues? This moment could be the turning point Riley needs. It might push her to choose a path and stick with it. Or it could go the other way. If she continues to float between options and ignore the advice she's been given, there may be more consequences ahead. So, what do you think? Was Riley's decision to use her mom's card completely out of line? Or is she just going through the messy process of growing up and learning what it means to be an adult? It's a tough call. On one hand, many young people make money mistakes. On the other, not everyone has a famous mom who can bail them out, or thousands of people watching their every move. Let's not forget, Riley is still figuring it out. She's made some missteps, but she's also shown signs of maturity and strength. Whether she chooses law school, DJing, or becomes the next big influencer, one thing is clear: the next few months will be a big test of her character and her choices. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this a one-time mistake or a sign of deeper issues?